I'm gonna, for some reason, the first like 30 seconds, I always get like this nervous feeling of like, oh my God, am I gonna mess up? And then I get to remember that I'm at home doing this. So this is great. I love it. What we did forget to do is close the studio door. We forgot to close the bay door. We'll close it at break. Hopefully we won't hear any. If you guys hear any crazy sounds like people cutting their grass and stuff like that, that's all that is. Don't worry about it. We're going to get straight into the show today. I got some cool things to talk about later. I've got a guest joining me today. I don't know if you guys can see her on the screen yet or not, but First Lady Tosha Mack is joining me today, and we're going to pretty much just talk about whatever, right, Miss Tosha Mack? What you got going on? How have you been?
I am wonderful. This is just talking, so we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And I understand that 30 seconds of nervousness. I think it's just like anytime you execute anything, the first 30 seconds you get those little jitters, and then you like, it's on.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that it's not like there's anybody here I need to be embarrassed about, like if I mess up. And people are like, well, but you're live. If you, who cares? Like if you're not here to laugh at me, I ain't really worried about it if I mess up. It's not a big deal. How have you been? How's things going? How's this whole COVID thing like? How you doing with this whole, virus deal?
So actually, with the whole COVID situation, we're okay. We've been taking the proper precautions, and we've been staying in the house and social distancing. So we're okay. But I have to understand that there are people that are not. So I really don't talk about it much. And then, I don't like to panic people. So I really don't talk about it.
I'm
But
good for
we're
panicking
good.
people. I'm good for panicking people, and I'm good for getting people worried. I'm a worrier, you know. Sounds
No,
like a
I
roast
cannot.
MD
I
over
can.
here. Say what?
I feel um, being since it's a global pandemic, panic is the worst thing that can go on right now. Instead of panic, we should be preparing ourselves and doing other things, but not panicking because irrational people. No, that is not. That's the
Yeah.
last thing we need on earth right now. Come on, think about Lawton. Do we need 1,000 irrational people running around going crazy?
Nope. One is bad enough, and I agree with you entirely. I think that that's really where my panic, if I was going to call it panic, is rested at. Is rested in preparation. And I feel like at times we need to prepare quickly. We don't need to prepare slow and take our time. And we really should be planning things out. From the point that we address a problem as a potential problem, and then well before it gets to a point of now we have to do something. We should already be planning things out. So I kind of wig
I,
people out a lot.
yeah,
Um,
I do feel like we waited way too late to start preparing. I do feel like we should have been prepared in November and December. No, some people were more aware of what was going on. Like you were more aware of what was going on. I was like getting information from your page and researching. And I was like, oh wow, this is real. This is
yeah,
really real.
yeah. It was and by the time I even started telling people about it and found out about it, it was already mid-January, and it had been going since at least December. The last week of December is when the first, I think, public reports came out about it. With the doctor that actually put the whole thing out there for everybody. May he rest in peace because he's dead now. Real quick before we get too far into that, for anybody who's watching who might not know anything about you, why don't you let us know who you are, what you do, and how you are a part of our community and all that.
So my name is the First Lady Tosha Mack. What I do community activism. I plan fundraisers, all kind of things. PR for um, businesses. I do brand heightening. I love doing brand heightening and brand awareness. It's something about the power of creation. I'm so into that. So I'm into that. I also do artist management. And when I say artist, you think music, I'm thinking, outside of music, we do modeling, we do acting, we do the whole entertainment entity. Also, I'm a mother, so I'm an advocate for a lot of things: domestic violence, violence against children. I'm a strong advocate for being a young, more into parent. Politics. I'm in politics. I do a little bit of everything around here, whatever I can.
You got your
Put it
finger in
that way.
all the sugar pots.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what's
well
up.
rounded.
So, with all the stuff that you do, like how, with this whole virus thing, I mean, it's put a kind of a slow on most people and a stop on a lot of people. How is this actually impacting you with the things that you've got going on? And like, with some of the projects you've been working on, how have you noticed this or seen that this has changed the way that you have to function?
Okay, so before the whole pandemic, like just about, I would say 70% of my income came strictly from doing events, community events,
Wow.
club events, like 70% of my income. So when everything shut down, it forced me to think outside the box. What am I going to do? Because we have to survive. We can't just stop because the world stopped.
Right.
So if to think outside of the box, and I've been blessed to still be able to be a part of some beautiful projects that are coming to light. And actually, I know the pandemic is a horrible thing that's going on, but I swear it is breeding some of the best entrepreneurs, some of the best business people that the world is about to see, because things are going to change. Because yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. Though. It's gonna be a blessing and a curse, because it's gonna be hard to recover as a nation, but to see the things that come from it, those are gonna be beautiful.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel the same way. I feel like what's going to ultimately end up happening from this, given that none of those conspiracies come true that they talk about, but what ultimately will end up happening from this is, I think that we'll see many like advancements in technology come about, because what this is
Huge.
really showing people is that a lot of the old ways of doing things. Oh, you know what? I feel completely messed up. Hold on. We're like 10 minutes in the show already, and I didn't even introduce. I got Mr. Daniel back and Mr. Rush. I screwed that up again. I screwed it up again. I got Mr. Rush back there working master control, and Mr. Dudley's also here too. I got two of them back there today working master control. Mr. Dudley's helping Mr. Rush. I almost messed it up again through all that. What kind of random shit is that? People are going to be like, bro, how you going to wait halfway through the show to introduce the team? You see that? I'm slipping.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Thanks for being there.
All for you.
Oh, even better,
Even better.
amazing.
That's what's up. Okay, so yeah, no, I was talking with Mr. Rush earlier, and I was telling him, I said, I think that this is like a giant push towards the future that everybody wishes we could have. Well, we see all these movies and we see the advanced technologies and the floating car. And all. We can't have that based on the structure of societies as today. If we're America and we're the most advanced country or whatever, the most powerful country and all that, and we're still driving on pavement, concrete and tarmac and stuff like that. Like, we're not even using the advanced technologies there are for roads. There's some places in the world that have these glass panels. They're hexagon shaped. And what they do is they actually convert the friction from the wheels into electric power. And they have entire roads made out of this in some places. So, we're not even doing stuff like that. So I look at it like this has to push people into that next mode of thinking, into a new way of thinking, because we can't stick with what the old is, because obviously one thing could put the whole world at a stop. You know what I mean?
Oh, it was tragic. So in some parts, technology is a gift and a curse, because in some parts we're ready for it and we need more advancements. But then you have to think about how much it'll slow certain things down and how far certain people will be behind, because
Yeah.
everyone's not ready for technology. Some are and some aren't. And
Well,
some don't, even the ones that aren't, some don't want to take the time to even, it's a headache.
but if you think about this though, like if you look at history and technology as it moved forward, there's always those people who don't want to change. You know what I mean? But times are going to change regardless whether we want them to or not. So what happens is those people get left by the wayside if they don't adapt with the times. You know what I mean? And that's really just how it goes. And I don't see this being any different. I think anybody who's going to defy the kind of changes that we're going to start seeing implemented within the next year or so, especially after all this, I think that they're going to end up ultimately finding themselves having a difficult time later, because people are moving faster and faster, and we're creating new tools and all that. Just like the typewriter became the computer, you know what I mean? Those people who used to be on that typewriter, if they didn't learn that computer, then it didn't really matter what they were doing after that for a while. You know what I mean? Because they weren't relevant. So I
And
look at
now
it like, I agree with you. So what?
the computer is basically the phone.
Exactly. And it's only becoming more sophisticated. You know what I mean? So tell me some things you got coming up. Tell me some things that you guys that you're working on, or that you're trying to get worked on. Some things that what direction is First Lady Tosha Mack moving right now?
So right now I'm actually moving into a more influencer role. I have a lot of different projects with a lot of different people coming out where I help them with the branding of the merchandise and the executing of the ideas. Because if you know anything about me, I have 1,001 ideas and 1,002 ways. So I've been working with a lot of different brands on clothing, which is going to be real fun. Movies, music, actually writing, some poetry. So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't tap too much into my soft side, but I am this year. Just the whole COVID thing. I was sitting at home, and it just allowed me to express a lot of feelings that I don't normally get time to tap into. And I was able to do that. I was
Got
able
nothing
to
but
capture.
time now.
Yeah, I was able to capture them not only on paper but most on film. So it's a real cool process that I've been going through. I've also been growing myself as a brand. I've been doing more things. So this year you'll see a lot more acting from me.
Okay. Now
And I'm
you
trying.
said that you said you were doing like you were involved in politics and stuff like that. How has all of this COVID deal, and I hate to keep coming back to COVID, but it's just like the number one thing in the world right now. How has this changed your perspective, if it's changed it at all? How has this altered your perspective on politics? Like, what do you feel differently now? I know everybody now, for the last 20 years, everybody was, oh, I don't mess with politics, I don't mess with politics. And now you kind of got to mess with politics to some degree or another. What's this done for you? What's it made you think? What's it changed you like?
Well, it's really opened my eyes um, to foreign policies and procedures and the way things other nations are handling the situation. Also compared to us, and just being able to watch the president more often in these press conferences and these meetings is very entertaining. And then also on a local level, it has really allowed me to analyze what's going on locally a little bit more, because some people are responding in a insensitive manner. And when these people are people that are directly deciding your law, it just makes you look at things a lot more in depth.
Yeah, I agree with that. Through this whole thing, it's made me decide that I'm actually going to end up running for the ward seat, but it's not until the year after next year, 2022, that the seat comes up again. But I'm going to run for that spot. This is my first public announcement of that.
And it was here with me, the First Lady
With the
Tosha Mack.
First Lady Tosha Mack. Is my
I'm the
camera
first.
out? Is it
So
good?
many firsts.
Everything looking good? Hold on, I'm trying to find out the technical side of things. Everything's looking good. All right, I guess it's looking good enough. But yeah, no, that was the first time I've actually said. I said it on my Facebook page, but I didn't say it in the show yet. So for anybody who's supportive of anything that I might be doing, I'll need your vote in a couple years. Yep.
Congratulations. Wish you the best of luck. And if there's anything I can ever do, just let me know.
Yeah, I'm gonna need your help when it comes to getting them votes. You already know it.
Because I organized a voting rally a few years ago at Cameron.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna need all of those expertise you got going on. I'm gonna need all the help getting all the vote. And I look at it like this. I'm not rich, I'm not famous, and that's exactly like part of the reasons that I feel like I'll do well, because I'm not living in some pretend world where I don't see what's really happening everywhere. You know what I mean? I can see how things are. You know what I mean? So I live in it. I mean, you know where I live at. So especially in our city, you know where I live at.
Do.
I get to see some stuff. I get to live with it. You know what I mean? And really our city's so small. It's kind of like everybody lives with what our city does. It's like forget that it's north side, south side, all that. Like Lawton is kind of just like one side, if you ask me.
I think that you're a good person for the seat. I feel like you're relatable to the community in a lot of different ways, which a lot of different seat members aren't. And to me, that's the main thing, to be relatable to what you're pushing. Because how can you tell me about me if you've never walked in my shoes or even tried to reach out to me to find out about me?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I feel like sometimes I do feel like politics is a popularity contest here, so it's a bunch of circles, but
See, and that's kind of the change that I'm hoping to bring about to it in whatever role I may be able to play in politics, if it comes down to being the path that I end up on. Because I don't want it to be about popularity. I don't want people to be like, oh yeah, you know, Johnathan, he's cool people, I'm gonna vote for him. I want people to vote for me when it comes to that time because of what I stand for and what I'm actually gonna do. You know what I mean? And there's still a lot of learning involved. We got our 1 minute cue. We're going to take a quick break in a second. Real fast, I do want to say thank you for joining me. You know, normally our guests are only on for the first segment of the show, and then after that I'll get to yapping. If you were here, it'd be a little different. You could sit here and yap with me the whole time. But we normally just do the guests when we teleconference like this for the first 15 minutes. But I do want to thank you for joining me, and I'll have to have you on the show once people can actually like be around each other again. You know, you can come in and sit down with me, and we'll sit down and talk a lot of garbage about a lot of things, stupid things, important things, you know, all that good stuff.
No problem.
Let everybody know where they can find you at.
Yeah, anytime you want me on the show, I will make myself available to come just talk with you. It's fun just chatting. You can find me, the First Lady Tosha Mack, on almost any social media platform that's out there. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, yeah, everything that's out there. First Lady Tosha Mack. Search me, like me, follow me, and I'll be back with you to talk later.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a minute.
I don't know if I hung up or not.
Prepared and experienced to get you to having things
Joe
done.
Powell with Solutions Auto Group right here at the new location in Duncan, Oklahoma. I was fortunate enough to hire Thomas Lewis and his staff. They're TT&T. I hired them for 3 or 4 weeks. They did a lot of renovation work here at the new location. They did a lot of cleaning. They did a lot of painting. They showed up on time every day, and they went to work. Could not have been any more pleased.
Call This, That, and the Other, renovation, small construction, and more today. Your small business is ready for the next level of marketing. Having the right tools in hand can help catapult your business into the place it deserves to be. From custom commercials that are ready for broadcast to the professional voiceover that you need for your business phone recording or a radio commercial, we build it all in-house. Sign up with us today and see how all of our plans offer exactly the tools that you need. And more importantly, they don't break the budget you set for marketing. Call and visit us online at lookandlawton.com today. Let's get your business to the next level. lookandlawton.com. We cover all of the details. Wax, wash, and shine, your vehicle is guaranteed to come out shining. Let us pay attention to the detail. We're here to vacuum wash and deodorize your vehicle on a professional level. Don't leave it to the other guys to miss things. We see them all. Do you have a fleet of vehicles? We're equipped to take on all the vehicles your business has too. Keep your business vehicles looking the best they can. Stop by today and schedule with us or message us on Facebook. Full Throttle Detail, located at 1601 Northwest Sheridan Road in Lawton. Bring your fur baby into Just for Canines and Kitty too. We have all of the best items for your cat, dog, pup, or kitten in stock. From pet beds to toys, we have everything you can think of. We carry the best selection of pet hygiene products and a huge selection of cat and dog foods. Spoil your pet by letting us give them the full treatment from massage to complete bath and grooming. We also offer our mobile grooming services. Be sure to stop in today or give us a call. Just for Canines and Kitty too, your pet's favorite place to go.
A second ago. Tulsa fire captain gets arrested for robbing 2 banks the other day. And I can't remember if he was arrested yesterday, day before yesterday, something like that. But apparently it was just from blabbing his mouth off too much, I guess. I guess he was just doing too much talking. Because he got away with the first one. And he actually got away with the second one. And then he ended up getting ratted out. I mean, that says that either times are that tough or... I mean, dude just wanted some money. There's 10 million different reasons. I guess you could say somebody would rob a bank. But he's a fire captain. Like, he kind of had, like, a job with some reputation behind him. And you know, he's a fire captain, you know. What does that say about how things are? Or does that say something about the individual? It's kind of tough to say. I'm going to keep moving on. Here is something that is frustrating to me. And this is a social media thing. Most of the things that because we're on social media, this is where we live at. You're watching us now on social media. I don't get this whole thing I'm seeing. Have you guys seen this? Tell me if you've seen this. These photos where you've got these white women or white men that either have like a fat booty, or they're dressed like you know, I mean, they're wearing baggy pants or whatever, chains and all that. People are saying these are challenges. People are like, oh, this is, and it's racial challenges at that. Black woman's worst nightmare, a black man's worst nightmare. And I just don't understand these images and these thought processes that are going behind it. If a person's physique is what it is what it is. It has nothing to do with their race at all. They didn't pick what their ass looked like. They didn't pick if they happen to have curly hair and they can make a pro out of it. They may pick how they dress, but where's the nightmare in that? Especially if you're mimicking something. You know, you didn't create this. The ideology to me is stupid and childish. And this is kind of goes back to the point earlier I was making about the trends and who's setting them and why are these things like this. You know, social media has people of all age groups on it. I almost feel like there needs to be like old people Facebook, young people Facebook, because a lot of the young ideas spill over into these adults, and then these adults who, you know, I don't know, I guess I don't want to say they're childish because I couldn't judge a person without knowing them, but people are just too accepting of the ideas that children are okay. And I say children meaning young adults because they're not thinking logically. Because a white girl got a fat ass don't mean a black girl needs to be worried about that girl. That's ignorant. It's stupid. It just makes zero sense to me whatsoever. Just because a dude has curly hair, a white dude who got curly hair, sags his pants and wears chains, don't make him a black dude's worst nightmare. That's stupid. It's stupid. Even just talking about it, I feel like I'm making myself more stupid just from having the conversation about it. But that's how much I keep seeing it on social media that I feel like it needs to have the attention brought to it. Not that it's even going to necessarily change it. It's just going to let me get the shit off my fucking chest about it. Oh, if you didn't know, we cuss here. We do a lot of that. I'm going to move on. The CDC is now saying that the SC2 virus, that's my little coin for that, the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which causes COVID-19, is not spread easily from surfaces. So like if somebody say you touch something it's on the surface, they're saying now that you're a lot less likely to catch it than they thought you were. Which is crazy because in the beginning they were saying like it was extremely transmissible and we need to be cautious of every single thing. And I'm not saying we don't still. But as we see this play out, what it seems like is happening is they blew it up and they did exactly what they needed to blow it up. They got everybody in an uproar. They had everybody either on panic mode or on prep mode. And I was a little bit on both because I was panicking because I knew other people weren't prepping and I was prepping. And I needed everybody to prep. But in the beginning, they were making it seem like no matter what, we were going to get this. You come into contact with this, you're going to get it. You come around somebody who's got it, you're going to get it. You come around somebody who came around somebody who came around somebody, you got it. You just didn't know you already had it. So it's in the air now. Because now it's like as we're getting closer to November, they're trying to kill out the narrative around a lot of what they were saying. They're trying to dumb it down some now. And I have a feeling what's going to end up happening, and I hope I'm wrong here, is that eventually they're going to start telling us, well, yeah, we said it was bad. We didn't know at the time that it was that bad, how bad it really was. So what we did was we wanted everybody to take the most extreme measures and caution to be prepared for it. And in the end, they're going to end up being like, but it's really not that bad, unless you get it. Because then it's probably that bad. Unless, of course, you get it. Because then it's also, according to what they're saying, not that bad. Did you know 70%, this is why I say that, 70% of the people that get it are asymptomatic. They're carrying it, don't even know they're carrying it. They don't show any symptoms ever. 80%, now mind you, that's including that 70, 80% of people who get this virus don't end up hospitalized. If 70% are asymptomatic, that means 10% of the people who get this are going to the hospital about it. Because it's that serious for them. It doesn't make any sense that we've been duped, but we haven't been duped. We really don't know as a people how bad this shit is. We see the numbers. We know the numbers are there. They validate its existence and what's going on. to some degree, because even some of those numbers are questionable. But what we do know is that it's there. The idea to me of backing down from all the precautions we've been taking is stupid. I won't back down from those. I'll continue to be cautious and overly cautious until I know better. I don't see me taking any vaccine for this, so if the rest of the world gets vaccinated, cool. Y'all don't need to worry about me. You're good. You know what I'm saying? I'll need to worry about that, but that's it. But aside from that, no, I'm not about to take the vaccine, and, you know, as long as they're making medications that work, we'll see how that goes. But, you know, it is what it is. But they're saying that it doesn't spread so easily now. You take your chances with that. I'm not going to. You know, there's very little that I'm willing to step out of the boundaries of doing still, because I'd rather wait, especially with all the reopenings happening. I mean, hell, they started reopening before they even met the requirements. Not one state met the requirements that the CDC had put out to say, hey, let's go ahead and reopen once we've met these conditions. Not one state did. However, we are seeing some state numbers go down. Another question that comes to me about that whole thing is, when it comes to the numbers, is what are the real numbers? We keep getting these cumulative numbers. There's this many cases. There's 5 million cases right now, or cases of COVID in the entire world right now. Did y'all know that? 5 million, a little over 5 million. On its way to 6. They said something like last night or yesterday, I think 100,000 or 300,000 cases or something like that globally were confirmed in one day. 100,000 cases, I believe it was, one day. That means in 10 days, that's another 1 million people that will have this. That's exactly how many people are, okay, too many thoughts jumping in my head at once. So in the beginning, the CDC, or not the CDC, but the WHO said that if there were no precautions taken and people did the most horrible job at taking precautions, and this thing made it around the world to become a pandemic, which it has, then what ends up happening is they said that basically if the whole population was to catch it, which they expect 60% of the population to catch this as long as there's no vaccine. If 60% catch it, then, or that's what I'm trying to get at. They're trying to say 60% is going to catch it of the globe population. Now 60% is approximately 4.8 billion people catching that. Do you know what 1% of that is? Because they're saying that now they were saying, you know, millions of people will die from this if it becomes a pandemic, blah, 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 all of that, which it still is. They were estimating like 2% of people to die from this. 1% of 4.8 billion is 48 million. That's a lot of people. The actual death rate of this thing, if you look at it and do the numbers based on the numbers we're given, is at 6.1% globally. Not when you break it down to the individual areas necessarily, but when you break it down globally, 6.1% is the current death rate. That's like 480 million people or something like that. Maybe, I don't know, you got to do that math on your own. Just multiply that 48 million times 6. What is that? No? It's a lot of people. That's millions of people. But they didn't say the course of time that it would take to do that. So maybe if we slow play this, that 65 million or however many millions of people are going to die, they might still die. But if we slow play it, maybe we can make those deaths take 10 years or more. You know, if it takes that long to make a vaccine, that's something else too. They keep on talking about, different companies are getting all this different money, like billions of dollars to make these vaccines, which is even crazier because they're getting these billions of dollars, and then we're also getting these reports that say we might never find a vaccine that works. And it's true. We might not. Guess we just really don't know. I'm going to move on. So Yellowstone National Park, and it's because I only got a couple minutes left because it's almost 7. Yellowstone National Park opened up the other day, and a bison attacked a lady. I mean, bro, like that's a sign. They want their territory back. Take y'all asses back home. Everybody stay at home. Y'all acting like y'all really wanted to go out and do all this shit before this thing. It wasn't until people said don't touch the red button that people started acting like they need to touch the damn red button. I'm just saying. Kroger, grocery stores, they've been paying $2 more to all their workers, right? And then this is screwed up, bro. I see this picture's email. I was meant to put it up here too, but I forgot to. They sent out this letter yesterday, maybe the day before yesterday, in the last couple of days, something like that, to all those essential workers that says, because they've been paying them from March to current, the $2 extra. They said, we've been paying you this extra money and we've overpaid you. Here's how you can pay it back. Kroger's is making the employees pay back the raises that they gave them as temporary raises. They have the option to pay it back in one payment, pay it back in 3 payments, or pay it back in 9. Man, let me tell you, fuck Kroger's. I would never work for them motherfuckers. You trying to tell, what kind of shit is that? Y'all probably made billions of dollars. If not, y'all were still functioning because of these people, and now you're trying to make them pay it back. It's $2 measly an hour. You kidding me? What the hell's wrong with people? Don't shop at Kroger's. I'm telling you right now, don't shop there because they're doing people dirty. I would never in my life do some shit like that. Who the hell? Let me know your thoughts about that Kroger's bullshit in the threads below. Give them the raise back, some bitches. What kind of shit is that? You some bitches. You gosh darn some bitches. In my most country voice. Hey, I want to say thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like the page, share, and hit that button down at the bottom so that you can get all the live notifications so you know when we come up live. And you can watch the show and all that good stuff. If you have something you want to talk about, make sure you let me know because I'm going to talk shit about it the whole damn time. No, probably not the whole time, but I'll give you a shout out though after I talk about it before and let people know, where the idea came from. Let me know your thoughts about whatever the hell, and I'm probably going to get back with you. And yes, I will respond back to you pretty gosh darn quickly. Thanks for watching. Make sure you watch us again at 6 p.m. next Thursday. 6-ish p.m. is what it seems to be. Close enough, but make sure you watch. Thanks. Talk to you guys next week.